Welcome to Gone Outdoors. Kyle Agre and Scott Brewer of Brewer Agre Outdoors, talking hunting, talking fishing, and talking anything you can do outdoors for the next hour. Right here on KWSN, 1230 AM, 98.1 FM, and Kello News Talk, 1320 AM, 107.9 FM, both out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and the mighty 790 KFGO Fargo, 104.7 FM. This morning's Gone Outdoors is brought to you by Ray's Sport Marine, your local Lund Boats and Bennington Pontoon dealer in Moorhead. RaysMarineMoorhead.com. Adventure RV across from the Fairgrounds in West Fargo, your number one RV dealer in the FM area. AdventureRVSales.com. Are you fishing for a snack or gas in Lakes Country? Lakeland General Store is your one-stop shop in the Lakes area at the junction of Highways 59 and 34 in Dunvilla. Devil's Lake Tourism and Glacial Lake Snow Bear. Linex of Fargo, this is Linex Country, home of the adventurous. Onyx Fish Midwest, Eskimo Ice Fishing Gear, and Ion Electric Ice Augers, and the Ion Alpha. Well, Scott, here we are, 25th of October. We're back here in the Gone Outdoor studio, and guess what? Prime time is about to happen, especially if you're a deer hunter. But let's be honest, if you're a duck hunter, the migration is really starting to heat up. If you're a pheasant hunter, the pheasant seasons are open now, and everybody's going 100% on that. If you're a fisherman, it is go time for that too. Muskies, walleyes, fall fishing is at its best. I mean, right now, today, right now, get out there, get on the water and wet a line. It's all happening.
Yeah, we talk about how fast summer goes, because you need to get out and enjoy it while you can, whatever your summer hobbies are. And that is nothing, absolutely nothing compared to this time of year, how fast it goes, because everything goes by so fast. There's so many opportunities. Just get out and do something outside, and you won't regret it.
Yeah, our firearms deer season is coming up really quick, and it seems like that's kind of about the pinnacle. I mean, everybody's different. I'm not saying that's everybody's pinnacle, but I know for fall hunting, typically that's when the crescendo hits, right? And you've just got this big rush, and depending on what state you're listening from, that season might vary. But I know in North Dakota and Minnesota, it's a couple of weeks out now, and now's when everybody's thinking about, shaking out the blaze orange clothes and making sure you get a trip to the rifle range with the gun, make sure it's sighted in, and all of those things are going to be busy over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that, like in North Dakota, if they didn't draw a rifle tag, they're just hoping that their target bucks make it through rifle season and make it till muzzle loader season, or until they can get back out there with their archery tag. And yeah, there's so many different opportunities right now, and everybody is different. Not everybody has a tag that they can go out and fill. And if you do, take advantage of it. Make sure you got all your ducks in a row, because you certainly don't want to mess it up.
Well, I'll tell you what, Scott, just based on what I saw last weekend after the show down at our farm, the rut, I mean, we're days away from rut really kicking in, but we're in that pre-rut phase right now. And we saw some rubs and some scrapes on the land, on the edges of the fields and whatnot. We saw some of the smaller bucks out during the daylight, kind of pushing around the does. They're not really getting too aggressive, but they're, it's slowly ramping up every day that goes by. And when it gets going quick, and it happens. And it's an exciting time of the year to be someone hitting the outdoors, whatever that passion might be.
Yes, it certainly is. And, you bring up a great point. I've always really wondered when the bucks go into rut, because that is such an important time for the hunters. And we all know it doesn't happen at the same time. Even in your own area, different bucks go into rut at different times. But I'd really like to know what triggers that. Is it daylight? Is it temperature? Is it the does?
How about the does is what I was going to say. I mean, that it all plays in the whole picture, right? But yeah.
But it would be really good to get an expert. We should find somebody that could get somebody on a radio show that could talk about that and figure that out, because there's a lot of hunters right now that are really wondering the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, it slowly crescendos up, and then it's really, really wild for a few days. And then they start pairing up, and you don't see as many of the bucks. And it's not that they're not still as much involved, but they become a little less visible to us as hunters. And I think that's part of the process too, is what do we see from the blind or the stand, right? Or where we might happen to be watching.
Yeah. And how much does wind really play a part in it? You know, Kyle, earlier this week, I'm relatively new to this cellular trail camera. And with this high winds that we had, I had almost zero photos. I was getting piles and piles and piles of photos every day of deer moving around. And with that wind, you can tell how it really, really stopped deer movement. And I really wonder if that has an effect on rut as well.
You know, I don't know if it affects the rut as much as it affects just what you said, daily activity. And if you think about it, whether it's the rut or not, a deer's sense of defense is solely based on their nose and what they can see and hear. First off, it's their nose, but what they can see and hear is second. And that wind takes a lot of that advantage away from them. Yep. So no matter what they're doing, they're kind of scared to move around too much. And we see that. And I'll be honest with you, the pictures I get a lot of pictures on windy days, but they happen to be blades of grass or branches.
Yeah.
Swaying in the wind, setting off the trigger on the camera.
Yep. So before we finish up this segment, I do want to throw out there that earlier this week, we had a Minnesota DNR walleye work group meeting in Brainerd. And there was all kinds of things that were involved. I was fortunate enough to be able to attend. They talked about the proposed walleye limit change in Minnesota, talked about tournaments, talked about guide licensing. Right now, guides don't need a license in Minnesota. We discussed that. We discussed many, many, many different things. And it's really interesting. Over the next year, probably month, 2 months, we'll probably get a little bit more in depth on some of these discussions, but it's really easy to get involved. It's really easy just to sit here and complain about what the DNRs are doing or the Game and Fishes are doing. But you should, if you get a chance, if there's a town hall meeting in your area, I highly recommend you go there, give your voice, because these guys really do care about what the stakeholders need and what the stakeholders want, but we just got to tell them.
Absolutely. What a fantastic way to give feedback to our government officials running our natural resource departments. Hey, speaking of feedback, we love the feedback we get when we have great guests on the show, and we got a great lineup this weekend. Fred Parno, he's involved with Get Kids Outdoors. It's a program based in northwestern Minnesota. We'll hear about that. We're going to talk to a professional taxidermist, Jody Slusher from J&K Taxidermy, and get some tips on how we might prepare our trophy to be something that we are proud to hang on the wall. We'll wrap the show up today with Brad Hawthorne, Hawthorne's Guide Service over in Mille Lacs Lake, Minnesota. We'll get a report on what's going over there in the fall as we get ready for ice. It's going to be a great one, folks. Don't go away. We'll be back with more Gone Outdoors right after this quick break.
Looking for somewhere to get all your fishing information in one place? Onyx Fish Midwest has something for you. Search for new fishing areas with filtering features such as species, abundance, trophy potential, lake survey info, regulations, and area insights are just a click away.
Getting to your target lake has never been easier with access points and public land ownership clearly marked on Onyx Fish. Mark and customize waypoints and weather for your exact location. Use code BA Outdoors to get 20% off Onyx Fish Midwest at onyxmaps.com.